Think about if this little patch of shoulder wasn't here. If this was a metal guardrail, this dude would be already folded in half around the guardrail. Looks like they're all good. All right, next clip. We're already hauling butt down the road. Ooh, that's sketchy. Wow. Yeah, he might have got lucky right there. See, what I don't like to see, though, he almost went off the road and really had a really bad day right there. And he was able to recover and get back on. And then he immediately started like ripping and racing and speeding right away again. And that's one thing I hate to see is you just got a free pass, you know? You just got so lucky, and now you're going to throw that away. So already right here, the clip starts with we're in the wrong lane. We have, it looks like the headlights of another vehicle right up ahead coming. So we're speeding. Can't tell exactly what the speedometer says. I don't know. But we're racing past this car. We got our buddy up ahead, probably just past this car as well. So we're trying to keep up. We're in the canyons. We're in the twisties here. We're already in this mind state of adrenaline and excitement, and I want to go race this bike through the canyons and keep up with my buddies and speed, you know. And that is such a common mistake for a lot of riders is they haven't learned the skills yet to be able to accomplish this, right? They haven't taken enough training or done enough classes or whatever. So they get excited about the machine's capabilities, right? The motorcycle has the ability to go really fast and to lean and to flick around these curves. But the rider on this machine isn't there, right? They don't have those same abilities that the bike does. But that's what a lot of beginner riders and novice riders think is like, because the machine is so awesome, I can just get on it and I'm going to be awesome. But that's a huge mistake, and that's one that gets people killed is they twist that throttle, they start racing around, leaning in and out of these turns, and the bike will absolutely do all that stuff, but the rider error is what causes the issue, right? So, and right here is a perfect example. Just this one picture alone, in the wrong lane, double yellow line, twists and turns, oncoming vehicles, passing other vehicles in turns, racing beyond the speed limit. It's all bad things. It's all a recipe for disaster, right? And then let's see how it plays out. So yeah, and once you start exceeding your speed and you have these kinds of twists and turns, if you don't have those skills developed, then you're just kind of holding on for dear life, hoping for the best as you come around these turns. So you can see the rider up ahead there. It looks like they have some brakes engaged. So I'd say kind of poor riding technique, hauling ass into these turns and then trying to shed a bunch of speed as you're in the middle of your curve in the apex. It's pretty poor technique, I think, as opposed to adjusting your speed ahead of time and then being able to maintain or roll on the throttle through the curves much better. And you can see this rider that we're on board with kind of coming charging into this turn after passing that vehicle, and now they have this left turn here, but they're flying into it. They're probably already hard on the brakes, and they're just heading right towards the shoulder here. And thankfully there was a shoulder here, right? And just wide enough. Like, look at that. As soon as he hits that, it's like sand and gravel here, so it's kind of tossing him back and forth. You know, front wheels, bars are kind of slapping. Rear wheel might be sliding around, losing traction here. But think about if this little patch of shoulder wasn't here. If this was a metal guardrail, this dude would be already folded in half around the guardrail, right? Or if there wasn't this much of a width of a shoulder here and it was just kind of a regular 2-foot shoulder and then maybe more of a cliff or a downhill drop right here, this rider would already be flying off the cliff on the motorcycle, flying down the hill, tumbling down the hillside. So how lucky is this rider to have this much width of a shoulder to make this mistake, to run off into, and then he's able to kind of stay. You can see the handlebars bouncing back and forth. That's a good head check right there. I like to point out some positive things in these clips as well. So he is able to ride that shoulder out and hop back on, and at least he does a little quick head check to maybe see the coast is clear. Not that it would do him much good already being in the road if somebody was coming up to hit him, but I like to see trying to gain some awareness there. Taking a look back, making sure something's not coming. So then it looks like he takes his left hand off there. Maybe he's signaling. I imagine that car that was in the beginning of the clip looked like a 350Z. That's probably one of their buddies that they're out here racing these canyons with. You know, not uncommon to have motorcycles and cars all ripping and cruising together. So maybe they're taking their hand off, signaling to that driver behind them. But yeah, then this is the part that I really have an issue with. You just got so lucky not wrecking yourself going off the road right there. And then you manage to get back on, and then watch what he does. Instead of like slow it down, pull off, take a breath, just immediately back on the throttle, ripping around the turns, and like, you know, take a moment, take a pause, catch your breath, maybe pull your bike off and do some self-reflection and some introspection and some analysis of what just happened. I almost died. If those conditions wouldn't have been perfect the way they were, if there would have been guardrails just like this shot, I would have been hitting those guardrails and doing severe damage to my body and my bike. And so there's a lot to process right there. It's a good time to pull it off and take a look at what just went down and try to learn from it right then and there, you know.